Hey, what's going on, everybody? So here we are, our very first episode of Rob Knows with Sister
That's
Tasha.
yeah.
Yes. First, I just want to do a little bit of, as they say, housekeeping, I guess. Or no, anyway, some housekeeping, some things that we want y'all to know and continue to do. At the bottom of your screen, you see Rob Knows with Sister Tasha. So I need you to go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, like, subscribe, share on all social media. Hook that up for us, okay? We really appreciate it. So we want to get right to it. So tonight we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. And Rob is going to go all in. He's going to talk about, he's going to give his predictions. He's going to talk about QB comparisons. QB, that means quarterback. So if y'all have any comments or any comments or what's up? What I'm trying to think of.
Comments, feedback, questions,
concerns, all that.
Let me know.
Stuff. Let us know. Put it in our comments. Put it in the comment box or whatever, and we'll definitely address those. So tonight, that's basically what it's going to be about. We're going to talk a little bit about the Cowgirls, and we're going to definitely. Yeah, just a little bit. We're not gonna give them too much because the media gives they always
just a little
give them a little bit too much anyway. But we're gonna definitely big up on our Eagles. So without further ado, Rob, let's get into this. But first, brother,
all right, what's up, everybody? Listen, for anything like she said, make sure y'all smash that like button. And I know y'all see me with the Chicago Bears, but I wear jerseys. I'm a fan of great players. I am not one of those sports fanatics who only believe that my team has the greatest players that ever played and there's no other great players, but I'm not that. As you see, I got on a Walter Payton, paying respect to the great late Walter Payton. You'll probably see me on here several times with different player jerseys on, but don't get it twisted. I am a diehard Eagles fan. I just know greatness when I see it. So whatever jersey you see me wearing, believe it's a great player. It's a Hall of Fame player. So tonight I want to get into a little bit about, first we're going to talk about the playoffs, who's in the playoffs. So everybody knows the Kansas City Chiefs are in the playoffs, the Cincinnati Bengals, and then you have the San Francisco 49ers against the Los Angeles Rams. So it's all this who should be there. The Bengals are going to do this. Joe Burrow is the greatest. First of all, let me explain something to you. For those who don't know about sports, there's a young man playing in the playoffs right now. His name is Patrick Mahomes. Okay? And in just 4 short years, he has halved. That means he has achieved half of what it took players like Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers and his stats are half of theirs at this point in his career in only 4 or 5 years in the league. And it seems like, the media, once you have a great quarterback, especially, listen to this, a black quarterback, they always try to find the next great white hope. I remember in my day when they said blacks couldn't play quarterback because we didn't have the cerebral to play. That was a knock on black quarterbacks. They didn't have the intelligence to be able to incorporate an offensive playbook. Through the years, they've proven that wrong. And, with this young guy, Patrick Mahomes, has been able to do, and I mean 4 straight AFC championship games, 2 straight Super Bowls, and a coin flip on whether or not he'd have went to 3 in his first AFC championship game. That same coin flip that everybody is now saying cheated the Bills out of their opportunity. That's just what it is. It's football. It's football. Right. You don't want to play, I hear people saying both teams should get a chance. Well, they changed the overtime rules. In case you didn't know, let me inform you. The old overtime rules stated that there would be a 15-minute quarter. But whichever team scored first, the game was over.
Right.
That means if a team got the ball, drove down, kicked the field goal, you lost.
Right.
They didn't like it. So they changed the overtime rules to both teams will get a chance to possess the ball unless the team who wins the coin toss drives down the field, scores a touchdown.
So wait, brother, when did they change that rule? How long ago did they change that rule to both teams can have possession of the ball?
This is a fairly new rule. I want to say less than 5 years, 5 years or less.
Okay.
That rule came into play, but it was because you had good teams that were, the game is tied, coin toss, team wins. They got a great field goal kicker. They get to the 40-yard, they get in field goal range, boom, kick the field goal, the other team never gets a chance. Right. With the new rules, all you have to do as a defensive team is not let them score a touchdown. That's all you have to do. But so the new rules, team wins the coin flip, they get the ball, they drive down the field, they kick a field goal. They don't score, you stop them from scoring. That means the other team now has a shot. So let's say they kick off to them, they drive down the field, they kick a field goal. Now, an overtime period now is 10 minutes. So if neither team takes advantage of that, then the game will end in a tie, unless it's the playoffs. If it's the playoffs, it'll keep going.
It'll keep going until somebody scores.
Well, after both teams possess the ball.
Okay.
If both teams get a chance to possess the ball and they both kick a field goal, it will keep going until another team either kicks a field goal or scores a touchdown. That is the overtime rules. Now, some people are complaining because the Bills lost. Because Josh Allen, this is what the media puts out there. Josh Allen deserved to be in the AFC Championship game. Deserve have nothing to do with it. You win. Who does
Josh Allen play for?
He plays for the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. Is he? What's his position?
He's a quarterback.
Oh, this is the quarterback.
This is the
I'm
quarterback.
a little rusty, brother. I'm looking at football like I used to with you, but
he's the quarterback, and he's a good young quarterback.
Okay.
But the problem I have with it is he got beat out by a better young quarterback who happens to be a black quarterback. And everybody's screaming, overtime isn't fair. Both teams, whether they score or not, should have a chance to get the ball. Here's the irony of it. 3 years ago, when Patrick Mahomes first made his first AFC Championship game, he faced Tom Brady. Okay? They went to overtime. Now, everybody's amazed that Patrick Mahomes did what he did to the Bills. It was 13 seconds left in the game. The Bills had just scored. In 13 seconds, Patrick Mahomes drove them down the field with 2 great passes, put them in the field goal range to tie the game, and then they won the coin flip, which the Bills got a chance to call heads or tails first because they were the visiting team. They called tails. It came up heads. Patrick Mahomes got the ball, drove down the field, scored a touchdown. Now they're crying about changing it. Now, Patrick Mahomes' very first game in the very first AFC Championship game, same thing happened with him and Tom Brady. They went out to the field. Tom Brady called tails, or it came up tails. Tom Brady got the ball. Patriots drove down the field, scored a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes never saw the ball again. The Chiefs organization at the yearly meeting of owners and rule changers and everything brought up the suggestion that they change the overtime rules so each team gets a possession, regardless. The Bills organization they voted against it. So the same rule they voted against came back to bite them in the butt.
That's what happens.
Now their organization wants the NFL Rules Committee to take a look at changing
it back.
Those rules.
That's crazy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What you gonna say? No, I was going to say. So let's get back on with the playoffs and what your predictions is going to be as far as the rest of these games that's getting ready to happen. Because we don't have long. When is the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl is 2 weeks from Sunday.
Okay.
It'll be 2 weeks from this Sunday. So, all right, predictions. Joe Burrow for Cincinnati Bengals he's had a phenomenal season. He got ice water in his veins. Young boy is not scared. He's coming back. What he's done this season, he's coming back off a ACL sprain, tear. Did not expect him to do what he's doing, but he has proven to be, an elite quarterback.
Okay.
That being said, they got to go into Arrowhead, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Cincinnati, 31-34, but it was a referee game. So the Chiefs stopped them like 3 or 4 times on 4th and goal, but it was always a penalty. They gave them a new.
So when you say it was a referee game, do you mean that they were cheating or?
Well, they were cheating. They just called it.
Yeah.
Like when it's down to the wire like that, some referees will let you play. They're not going to let the flag determine who wins.
Right.
Some referees just call it how they see it. That's what I mean.
Not necessarily.
But I will say this: I believe it's going to be a tight game, and the Chiefs are going to come out. The Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. I believe they'll win by 10. Now the other game, the 49ers, the Rams, it's all been set up for the Rams to destroy the 49ers. The 49ers have beaten the Rams the last 6 times. Okay, and the Rams went out and they made a Madden team. The team they got is the team I make on Mutt and Madden. They got Odell Beckham, they got Cooper Kupp, they got Von Miller, they got Aaron Donald, they got Jalen Listen, they got more stars than Hollywood. Okay.
So wait, is it because like I said, I'm a little rusty. I don't, when I used to look at football with you all the time, ask questions and stuff like that. So it's 4 teams left.
It's 4 teams left.
So it's the
2 that win these will be AFC, NFC champ and represent their conference in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so it's the 49ers and the Rams is playing.
Yes.
And you said the Bengals,
Chiefs and the Bengals.
The Chiefs and the Bengals. Okay.
So the 49ers have a great defense, but a lot when you have to play, they were a wild card, so they had to play that extra game. When you play that extra game, and then you got to travel. That's the only thing with the wild card. You have to travel. They got a lot of players that's banged up, and then you're going up against a very powerful team in the Los Angeles Rams. Okay. I believe that for the first half, they'll keep it tight. But it's set up for the Rams to just destroy them. But every few years, you have a wild card team that'll walk through the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl. And I would kind of love to see a Kansas City Chiefs San Francisco Super Bowl rematch. But a Kansas City Chiefs Los Angeles Rams, that's stars of stars. That's like when the Lakers played the Celtics back in the 80s. Stars everywhere.
Yeah.
So my predictions for this weekend is Chiefs by 10. I believe the Rams will probably win by 12 or 14 points, maybe more. So that's what I think about that. And When we come back in 30 seconds, I want to talk to y'all about quarterback comparisons.
Oh, I had looked it up. I thought you talked about it a little bit. All right.
Two in particular. See you in 30 seconds. So you can edit. Okay, what's up, sister? We back. And welcome y'all back. And just to do some follow-up, we talked about the NFL playoffs and who I thought was going to win and things of that nature. And just to remind y'all again, smash the like button, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Show us some love. And like I said, remember to subscribe. So we will baby. We will get back to
now. We're going to do quarterback.
The quarterback comparison. Right. Well, the only reason that I want to talk about quarterback comparisons because it's an issue. Like how I feel about my Eagles.
Yes.
Love my Eagles.
Yes.
But since we've got lost in the playoffs through the media, through just people making negative comments on Facebook about Jalen Hurts. He's not the quarterback for us. He has a weak arm. He's this and he's that. And what I think people this is the thing with me, sister. It's people who don't know anything about sports.
They got the most to say.
Because if you knew anything about sports, you would realize that what this young man did was special.
Right.
He essentially did an Allen Iverson. He took a group of has-beens and has-me-nots to the playoffs.
Okay.
I had said to someone, he was like, "Yo, I can't go to war with Jalen Hurts." I said, "Well, you can't go to a war using a revolver anyway." You understand?
Right.
Jalen Hurts, top receiver, Devontae Smith from Alabama, Heisman Trophy winner, is about Allen Iverson's size. Okay? 5'10", 5'11", 175 pounds. That's his top receiver. All right? His best running back, Miles Sanders, can't stay on the field for more than 3 games in a row. Okay? So his other top running back is Boston Scott, who is about 5 feet tall.
What?
All right? Literally, he got to be about 5'5", 5'6", playing at running back NFL. Now, running backs that size, Darren Sproles comes to mind, have had great careers. But this is what you want this young boy to prove he's a franchise quarterback with. Okay? His best weapon, Zach Ertz, they traded to the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Right? Now, our defense, best player on our defense, Fletcher Cox, hands down. Right? Derek Barnett did not turn into what they thought he was going to be when they drafted him. Jalen Reagor can't catch COVID. Okay? That's how bad he is. He can't catch COVID. Right? We don't have no kind of cornerback safety play, elite play, no linebacker elite play. But this young man took us, a team like that, to a playoffs. What's lost in him, he led the team in rushing, yards, and touchdowns. Okay? He's accounted for 70% of the Eagles' offense. Now, my problem is they have a young man in New England named Mac Jones. Mac Jones, 15th pick in the first round, went to the Patriots, played for Alabama, one of the most storied college programs in history. Came in. They didn't even tout him to be. 4 other quarterbacks went before him.
Right.
Now, you don't always get a quarterback pick right, but 4 other quarterbacks went before him after he performed at the combine. But he came in and he had a great rookie season.
Right.
Okay? But he's playing with a better overall team. Okay, the Patriots did something uncommon. They spent almost $70 million bringing in free agents. What they
Hold on, wait a minute. I couldn't hear you.
But it's what they did.
All right, good, yeah. You can hear me?
Right? And so after they did that, they built a defense that was in the beginning of the season. They were like first 5 games, they were the number 1 defense, which means there was talent. It means that there was talent
you can say it
on
out
that
loud.
defense.
Hold on. You can't hear me? Wait, because listen, it is what it is. Can you hear me?
In the playoffs,
he can't hear me. Can you hear me?
He got destroyed.
Check your phone.
In the playoffs, he got destroyed. Okay? 47-17. He had a horrible game. He threw interceptions. He didn't have a great game overall, but the media consensus says he has a bright future. Like, I don't get that. How come this young man who plays for the Eagles may not be the quarterback for the Eagles, but this young man in New England has a bright future? Jalen Hurts is only a second-year quarterback with limited talent around him. I would be more on that bandwagon if the Eagles had a full team, a full complement of players, and then all he had to do is not mess it up. But he had to. There's a difference between having to carry a team and being a game manager. All Mac Jones had to be was a game manager. Just don't mess it up. But Jalen Hurts had to be a difference maker. He put his body on the line, he's running for his life, basically. So, when it comes down to QB comparisons, I just don't get that part.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so we're back. And, we were just talking about quarterback comparisons. And I just did the my opinions on the quarterback comparisons between Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones and the other quarterbacks in the league. They compare apples to oranges. There is not fair to some of these young quarterbacks to be compared to a Brett Favre or a Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady who has 7 Super Bowl rings, been to 10 Super Bowls. It's not fair, And here's what's really not fair, because we're going to do a little bit, because we got to get ready to get up out of here, but a little bit about them cowgirls, okay? Because every year,
this is our podcast. We can talk about what we want to talk about. I'm going to say it already.
I'm so sick of Cowboy fans. Every year, we them boys. You ain't been them boys in 26 years. In 26 years, y'all have exactly 2 or 3 playoff wins.
This is my question. Okay. So, listen, y'all. This is our very first podcast. Let me just say this. So, if you see a little click and hear a little there or there, we having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are determined to keep this going, to do, what we feel that we, want to do to get this popping. So, you just got to excuse us. We got a few hiccups that we have to get over. And, that's technology for you. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. But, whew, this is crazy. Stop calling.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to, let people I'm I'm at the
Don't call
probably,
me between the hours of this and
yes. I'm doing my, we
7
doing
and
my
8.
show. So
we gonna get it together though. We gonna get it
yeah,
together.
yeah.
So
This that first one. It's our first one, and like Sister said, technical difficulties come up,
yeah, we
but
super
we'll get it right.
excited.
We'll get it right. We'll
All of
make sure
that.
we try to have y'all an informative show, and or a little bit of something that you can relate to. And like I was saying, everybody can relate to the Dallas. Listen, I don't
Yeah, we
like to
was
use the
talking about
word
the
hate.
cow
I don't like to
girl.
use the word hate because it's a strong word, but I hate the Dallas Cowboys. Now, that being said, it's just the organization. They had a player. I love Ezekiel Elliott. I love that.
Right.
I love him as a football player. I am, like I said, I'm a fan. I'm not a fanatic, right? And I love watching him run. He runs so angry, but he's used up. I just told
Now, how long you say he used up? So how long has he been in the
I think he's been in the
league?
league now 7 years, but most runners like him who run so hard, it's hard to tackle him. Like he runs like a bull in a china shop.
Wow.
Their careers usually last anywhere between 5 and 8 years because of the punishment their body takes.
Right.
And it's hard. That's why I got on this Walter Payton jersey, because it takes a very special running back to survive the pounding of an NFL season.
Yo,
And
isn't that how but then he played two sports, because like now you see Deion Sanders, and Deion Sanders have his little mobile.
But Deion wasn't a running back.
No, but I'm just saying, you talked about the pounding on your body, the toll that it takes on your body, on your knees,
it's the position
and stuff like that. Well, what was Deion Sanders' position?
He was a cornerback.
Okay.
And Deion, the knock on Deion, as great as he was scared to tackle. It's not true. He just wasn't a great tackler. Right. He wasn't scared to tackle, but Deion's body didn't take. See, the positions other than your offensive and defensive lines. This is why your offensive and defensive linemen are so huge. Okay, because that's where the game is won or lost, with these behemoth of men fighting for 1 inch. After that, it's the running back, because most of your running backs
break that down.
Because most of your running backs have to go. They run what they call between the tackles. Okay, Ezekiel Elliott could run between the tackles, which means he's running. Imagine 10 elephants, 10 bull elephants fighting, right? And the only way you can get away from them is to run between them. You understand what I'm saying? And some running backs like him, that's what he do. And he did it better than anybody for close to 5-6 years. But eventually, that pounding started taking its toll on his body. And what the Ezekiel Elliott I saw this year was a shell of the guy I saw 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But we get back to the quarterback thing. They always said, the quarterback's going to get paid the most because, he's supposed to be the guy on the team that Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, only because he's the quarterback.
Right.
But without a running game, Dak Prescott got drafted in the 4th round. There's a reason for that. He went to the scouting combines. All 32 teams got a chance to see him throw the ball, accuracy, arm strength. All 32 teams got to see this, but he still was a 4th round pick. Wow. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys do. You know what I'm saying? Tony Romo was not a 1st round quarterback. Why? But everybody, every year, we them boys. No, you're not. Oh, you know what I was getting ready to say, brother? That's what I was getting ready to say before we had our technical difficulties. Right.
So on Facebook about the Facebook people, like or about Facebook, and this what I admire about you. Whether the Eagles good or bad, you call it what it is. If they jamming up, you be like, yo, so and so didn't do this right, they didn't do that right, da, 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 da. And but them Cowboy fans on Facebook, I love y'all dearly. I do, because a lot of y'all are my family. But y'all don't call when the Cowboys mess up, y'all make all kind of
every excuse in the world
in the book about what happened and why they didn't. And it is so sickening. And I don't get into back and forth beefs about, because I feel like this, because I like you said, I'm a fan. I ain't a fanatic. So I don't care. Because I'm not getting none of the money that they getting paid, whatever. It's just the whole camaraderie of it. You know what I'm saying? Having the whole team. So that's what gets me all excited and stuff like that. But they irk me so bad on Facebook with that. I'm like, you know what?
You know what they are? These are, honestly, and this is the honest truth, those are people who know nothing about sports. The reason I can do first of all, in my day, I wasn't a good football player. I was a great football player.
You was, brother.
Not only that,
that
I coached for years. You understand? So, I can look at it and tell when people
ask. The Penrose Panthers, y'all know who y'all are.
Yes, sir. The mighty Penrose. But if I see my team this year, when people ask, "Oh, what you think about other Eagles? What you think about we going? This our year?" I was like, "What year?" I was like, "This our what year?" And I'm like, "Listen, we'll be lucky to win 5 games." This is why it's more impressive than what Jalen Hurts did. But every year with Cowboy fans, they supposed to not. Let's say this: with all the talent they have on their team, they should have made a deeper run in the playoffs.
The Eagles, right?
No,
who you talking about?
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys. We on the Cowboys.
But people gonna blast me for this, but I always tell them the weakness on their team is their quarterback. He's the weak link, and he's been the weak link. Right? Dak Prescott is the weak link on that team. Now, quarterbacks ain't easy to find. You feel me? They're not easy to find, but at the height of Ezekiel Elliott's talents, then they went out and they got Amari Cooper, and they put all these pieces together, and every year it ends the same way. The last game of that Prescott season is 9 times out of 10 his worst game. Oh, y'all, them boys, all right. We have a good friend. His name is Quinny, and he's a diehard Callis fan. Big Q. But I had to give him a bit of reality. I said, bro, the last time y'all won a Super Bowl, my oldest daughter was 8. She 34. I said, think about that. Well, we won 5. Dude, you got to win. I'm talking about in this millennium, bruh. In this millennium.
You and Quinny always went like, oh my god.
Because he's a fanatic. Hilarious. The one thing that irks me the most is a person who thinks they know a sport that they never played or never participated outside of picking up a joystick. You feel what I'm saying? And they think that makes them like informative when it comes to sports, the whole makeup of it. I could basically tell you at the beginning of the season, watching preseason and everything, who's going to be what. A lot of people get excited when the Raiders started the season off 3-0. When the Chargers started, everybody was ready to anoint this is that and this. They going to be the da. And I told everyone, I said, check this out. This is just the first games until defenses figure out what they're doing. And that's exactly what happened. They fell off. The Chargers with their hot start, I think they started off 5-1. Didn't even make the playoffs. And this season, was an
I'm
extra
calling it.
game. Instead of 16 games, they had 17 games. Cream rise to the top. Now, I'll say this. The Cowboys had a great team, but you know why the Cowboys, and I'm going to say it ain't all their fault. All right, Cowgirl fans, I'm going to let y'all know this right now.
Yeah, then we're going to be off the Cowgirls.
Okay. The reason the Cowboys, they had a good record, but think you played the Eagles twice, the Giants twice, the Redskins twice. They suck. So that's 6 wins right there.
Right there. Right.
So they won 12 games this year, but 6 of them came against inferior. Well, 8, if you look at everybody they played, 8 or 9 of their teams that they played was inferior competition. They didn't beat anybody who was in the playoffs. Right? Now, why is that? Because there's no competition in the NFC East. In order to get good, to get better, you have to play better competition. There's a reason why in the NFC West, the Rams and the 49ers who play in the same division are in the NFC Championship game. There's a reason for that. It's the same reason why when the Green Bay Packers, as good as they are, they made it there, and then the 49ers beat them. Why? Because there's nobody in their division to make them better. You know why? Back when I was a young man, the Super Bowl champ came out of the NFC East every year. Either Washington, Dallas, or the Giants until San Francisco 49ers built the super team. Right? Why was that? Because playing in the NFC East was like fighting Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Riddick, but all in a order.
But
you had to come through that.
You had that in other sports as well. Because I remember coming up like with basketball, you had to beat the Lakers or the Celtics. You know, it was like at one time it was like every year for like 15 years, it was either the Lakers or the Celtics that was going.
Well, you think about it, sister.
So it's like in every sport.
If you want to get good,
those particular teams.
If I say I want to be the best basketball player in the world, and then I tell you, come on out to the court with me, sister, I'm gonna play against you, so I can get better. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, and I can't play a lick of ball, so how are you gonna get better?
My point.
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're
So
saying.
that's why you have the Dallas Cowboys every year. Every year they scream "We them boys" because they know that they play in a weak division. You feel me? Gotcha. It's the same reason why the Eagles of the early 2000s couldn't get over the hump. Because, see, when you get to the playoffs and you get to the NFC Championship game, you're playing a team that was the best in their division, right? But if you're destroying all the teams in your division, there's no bar for you to raise.
Right. No, I'm right. Right.
And so I'll give that to the Cowgirl fans. That's why they can't get over the hump. They won't get over the hump until the NFC East gets better. Till the Eagles get better, the Giants get better, the Redskins get better. They not gonna. You can't do that. And then these other teams, you done been fighting tomato cans. You've been fighting soft fighters, and they've been fighting Mike Tyson and them. You know what I'm saying? So when you get in the ring with them, they like, man, I just fought Mike Tyson.
Right, your stamina is nothing.
Nothing you do is nothing. That's what the San Francisco 49ers did. The San Francisco 49ers been playing. They didn't play. All of the teams in the playoffs, you figure this, they had to play the Rams twice. They had to play you know what I'm saying? They had to play the Cardinals twice. All these teams made the playoffs.
Right.
So you had to learn how to fight. Then you go play a team who they're by far the strongest team in their division. They couldn't take the body blows. So all you Cowgirl fans, you better start rooting for the Eagles, the Giants, and the Redskins to get better. Because if they don't never get better, y'all will keep losing in the first round of the playoffs. That's a fact. That's a fact,
Jack.
That's a fact. Enough with them Cowboy fans. I'll holler at y'all though. Holler at me. Leave a comment.
Yes.
I'm sure to give you the business.
Yes, comments, questions, concerns, whatever you want to do, you'll be able to leave it, on all social media platforms, like we said, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. What else, brother?
Instagram, Twitter, New
Facebook.
York, YouTube, Facebook.
Like, subscribe, all of those things for us. Make sure y'all follow us, and we'll definitely, elaborate on it, give y'all some feedback, answer your questions and stuff like that or whatever. But we're gonna that's the end of our show right now. We're gonna wrap this up. We just want to say thanks again for watching. Thanks in advance for supporting us. And please remember to share on all your social media. We're going to talk about, we'll probably, our next few shows will probably be, about football or some sports, because we definitely going to have our nephew on here. Our nephew just signed with West Point. He just committed to West Point Army. So we are super excited about that.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to have him on here, so y'all can see who he is. Look out for his name, and yeah, it's getting ready to be popping.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like, so we ain't just talking about this. We do this.
We live
it. We do this. We got some our our youngins coming up, and we got stars all over the place. My niece, she's a diva, but she got a right to be a diva. What I mean? You can always find. All you got to do is Google her name, and you can see her shows on the Tizu. And like my sister said, we got a nephew, all 6'5", 262 pounds of him, terror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just committed. I mean, he chose Army. He chose West Point. West Point didn't choose him because he had many choices. Let me just give you. He could have went to Harvard.
Yes. Because he is a student athlete.
He could have went to Harvard. Harvard came after him. So just to let you know, he ain't just a football player. Okay.
Harvard, Penn State. Yeah.
But like my sister said, we appreciate y'all listening. Show us some love. Hit the smash and like button. Follow us. Subscribe. Just and we're going to try to keep our shows constant. We have some new material for you. I will try my best to answer all comments, good or bad. It really doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know, now you know. I'm informative because Rob knows.
There you go. All right, y'all. We love y'all. Peace out. Peace.